Hey guys, so this video will be a little bit of a special ranting edition of my opinions towards the Sigma's newest Art F1.4 lenses for the Sony FE mount cameras. So here's what happened today at my photo shoot, which is the first time I'm using both of the new lens on a actual photo shoot. It was an outdoor photo shoot at the beach, and I was shooting two couples that recently got engaged. So it's mainly portraits. It's almost 100% portraits, and I was really excited to use those two lenses, 35 and 85, because previously I have only tested them, in front of my desk. And during the shoot, or I would say at the very beginning, everything worked just fine. I like both lenses was able to find the client's eye and focus really nicely onto the eye, and it is not it's actually like halfway through the sun is kind of setting, and the light got kind of tricky. It's more of like a backlit lighting situation. So during those situations, I actually when I was using mainly the A7 III, I was using A7 III with a 35mm lens, and I have the camera in, let's see, so I had it in wide focus area, and I have, so I was on manual mode because something happened. So switch it back to normal mode, and I always kept the lens on AFC, and then I set my AF on to IAF. So that was my basic setting. So I was trying to press IAF to focus on my subject, and the lens just started to quit working. It wouldn't focus at all, and then it kind of focuses very close range and stuck there. I wasn't even be able to pressing my shutter, and so my clients was just standing right in front of me, like waiting for me to click the shutter, and I couldn't, and I feel like a total idiot. And that was with the 35mm. So, and my wife was actually using the A7R III with the 70-200, and this lens, of course, it's a beast and it's fantastic. I would say if you have the money, buy it right away. Because she was using the actual lens with a Sony lens, the actual camera with a Sony lens, so there wasn't any issue with focusing at all. Only mine with a Sigma had problem focusing. So I said, okay, maybe it's a lens. So I switched to 35 off and I put my 85 on, and I started shooting them. Of course, the lighting situation is still very backlit against the sun, so, and the camera just wouldn't focus at all. I was surprised because then I tried the A7R III with a Sony 70-200, and I pressed IF, everything works just fine. And I go back to this camera, I press IF, it doesn't work, and even like if I press the shutter, it wouldn't focus. It just stuck there. So in the end, I was like, okay, maybe something wrong, like maybe something happened like just for that once. So I actually switched the lens off. I think I used the ultra wide angle instead, the 12-24, and I shot for a little bit, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should test the same lens 35mm onto a different camera. So I actually put it on the A7R III, and it worked fine on A7R III. I was trying to like focus the subjects against a very backlit lighting situation, and it actually worked fine. The problem only exists on the A7 III, at least for me. When I was at the photo shoot this afternoon, it happened to me. So I don't know what the actual problem is. And if you remember, during my review for the 35mm, I was doing a AF test, or maybe the 85mm. I was doing an AF test, and I told you guys there was something wrong with the autofocusing. I was half pressing, and it's not autofocusing. It's not locking onto any subject. That's the exact same problem. It happened today again at an actual photo shoot. Super embarrassing. I tried both lens doesn't work. My clients was just looking at me like, what's going on, and their emotion was kind of frozen because they were just waiting for me to click the shutter, and I wasn't able to click the shutter. It's super frustrating. Again, I'm not sure if it's something with their firmware. Hopefully they would be able to do a firmware update and fix this goddamn problem with the AF not working properly. If not, I'm definitely gonna get rid of those lenses and buying all Sony gears. And this lens, it's actually a loaner from my friend. He actually bought the 70-200 for his son's, I think, sports activities. So he bought this lens and he said, "Hey Lee, just take it over and give it a try." And I'm glad I actually bought this lens with me on the photo shoot, because that's kind of a lifesaver when the 85 quit working. And of course, I have some backup lens over here. But again, the reason I got Sigma is because of the 1.4, because of the sharpness I've experienced with their 50mm on my Nikon gears. And that 50mm worked fantastically on the Nikon. It doesn't have any AF issue. I focus super quick. Only on Sony, something happens. I mean, I'm not sure if this lens performs any better with a Canon mount with a adapter, the Sigma adapter. So yeah, now I'm torn. I'm not sure if I should get rid of those lenses and just get a alternative, like maybe a Zeiss Batis, to replace both options, because I heard Zeiss also comes up with a 40mm f2. The reason I didn't choose Zeiss is because I loved the f1.4 large aperture, and now I have some sort of regret that f1.4 is not gonna work when the AF doesn't work. So out of the pinch, you see when I was first turning on the camera, I was on manual mode, and because it doesn't autofocus, I have to use both cameras in manual mode. Super frustrating. I mean, the manual mode works kind of okay because I just focus on the subject's face and then, you know, I reframe the picture and I take a picture, but that's not how the way it works. It's supposed to be AF right on the eye, you know, with no problems. So that is my rant. And I'm actually, I have another shoot with the same clients tomorrow. So I'm still going to be taking both lenses over, and of course this is my only option at this point. If something does happen, if the AF gets bad again with the A7R III, I think it's time for me to switch the lens. So if you guys seen my previous unboxing reviews, testing the lens, testing the AF system, that was super preliminary, and now I actually had an actual shoot, and I can tell you guys the AF is terrible on those lenses, especially on tricky lighting situations. Like normal lighting, I should work just okay. I should be able to find the eyes, but if the light gets tricky, if the background gets very foresty, there's a lot of foliage, and if the background gets super backlit, those lenses doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Again, tomorrow I'm gonna be able to try it again and do maybe another update, but tonight it's my renting video night, and so if you guys are thinking about getting Sigma, I would say hold on to it. Don't put your money on Sigma. Wait to see if they have any fixes. If hopefully they have a firmware fix for the AF problem I'm experiencing. If not, I'm getting rid of those lenses. And I have to say, now I kind of appreciate Sony and their native lens options. I know it's fairly pricey, but I think for the price you pay, you get a lot of peace of mind. And this is definitely the lens to get. If you guys have the $25,000 sitting around, get this lens. If you don't, save up and get this lens. It will be a lifesaver, I would have to say. Even for this little $200 50mm f1.8, the AF on this is super slow, but it never fails. It locks onto subjects. So again, the option is yours. If you guys are looking at this video, you're probably thinking about buying the Sigma f1.4 Art for the Sony camera. I would say please hold on to it and don't buy it. Don't make my mistake. And let's see what Sigma would do with those AF problems. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry I ranted so much, and if there's any new updates with the AF system, if there's something going on tomorrow, I'll definitely come back and do another update on those lenses. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care and good night.